girls, come on. Leave the saving of the world to the men? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello. Hey, everybody.
Hello. So great to see all four of our faces on the screen.
Finally back together.
Right. Family back together again. Black Widow quote. Okay, well, we have a very special episode because I think we could all agree we were all on a high after getting all the San Diego Comic-Con announcements, the new project. I mean, we were even talking, we're like, wow, the future is female. All these bomb female characters that we either known about finally getting their own projects or we're being introduced to new characters. It's very promising and it's very exciting. But that is just us. Mm-hmm. We quickly found out of this concept of the MCU, and we were excited. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Like you said, future's female. It feels right. But we had no idea with the overwhelming negative stigma it is. It's almost like whoever like using this term is kind of talking about it in a really derogatory, negative way of seeing more female characters in the MCU. But you know, Nerdy Goes After Dark, that is not how we look at things. We're really excited for the new female characters. And I feel like we probably should just like address like the loser energy from a lot of these guys. And then talk about the stuff that we're really excited about. Because first, cheers, ladies, because I'm drinking probably this whole bottle. Cheers. So the crazy thing is, like, when you Google MCU, and I don't know if it's the same for y'all, it's this video that has like 500,000 views. I'm not even going to say who it is because I'm not going to be promoting that whack shit that he's promoting. But we're just seeing this sentiment around a lot of guys complaining around there being more female characters. They're saying all the female characters that have been introduced within Phase 4 and like starting with Phase 3 have been very lackluster, either copying male characters and feeling like even male characters have been weakened for the sake of introducing more female characters. So I just want to know y'all's thoughts.
There's like, too many of them.
Yeah, too many women.
So much hate about Kevin Feige said something about like in the future I think there may be like I see a world where there's a little bit more than half female superheroes and all the men are like meh. Like, so just mad. Doing what they do best and just like throwing a fit because that's what they do. Look around you in any room. Like for the most part, it is half or more than half female. Like grow up.
Yep. Yeah. It's the same energy that I feel when people are like, why isn't there a straight Pride Month? I'm like, y'all don't need one. Y'all have 11 months of the year. Let us have this 1 month. Girls have matter. Something.
And we weren't complaining when Phase 1, the only female representation that we got was Nat and like Iron Man season
Sexy
Iron Man 2 was so cringe.
Yeah, sexy Nat.
Like it was all for the male gaze, and you don't see. It's funny how just because now more representation for female and more empowering light are now like disturbing the souls of many men.
It's so true.
Yeah,
they have souls.
Yeah, it makes me laugh that they're all like, so in other projects they're all gazing at the female, like the female's sexy and they love it, or they're in a tight outfit and they love it. And here, there's a lot of hot females in the MCU. But yet they're upset about it because there's not enough men. So it's like, you can't have it both ways. Yeah. Like, do you want it to be all man or do you want the woman too? Because we're not just here for you to, oogle at and catcall and stuff. We're here to kick butt too. So,
and that's what I have, like, this theory. A lot of these guys who are just so bent backwards around the female representation that we're getting phase 4 and beyond is because they literally they're loser guys who look at fiction as, like, you know, their alter egos. So, you know, they want to be like Tony Stark, they want to be like Thor, and they want to have, like, you know, those same qualities because they don't have it in the real life. They're a loser. Whatever, like, that's the energy that they're, you know, giving off.
Go Maya.
So now they want, when things are not created for the male gaze, they're upset about it because, one, they're seeing the male characters not be so macho and, you know, untouchable, and then the female characters are not in, like, these skimpy outfits and their tits are not out, like,
and they're not helpless.
Yeah,
they don't need a man.
They're not the damsel in distress.
Exactly. So I just feel like there's, like, this identity crisis, like, that guys need to come to terms with themselves, because at the end of the day, you're still going to go see the movie. Like, whoever these YouTubers, you clearly saw the project and you're still going to support, but they hate the fact that now it's like a huge connected universe that you still have to watch She-Hulk, you still have to watch Miss Marvel to be up to date in the MCU. So it's like you're forced to do it, and I think that's why they're, like, being so annoyed about it, which is so toxic.
I also want to shout out the fact that there are also women who are jumping on this bandwagon of the like MCU. How dare they? They're not giving females a good voice. Like, the female characters aren't strong, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Maybe it's not your perfect world, but you know what? The kids these days are growing up knowing that they can be a superhero. Girls these days are growing up seeing that there can be somebody like Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, who's not the most emotional, who's not the most emotive person in the whole world, still out there kicking ass. And you know what? I don't care that you're upset that she doesn't smile enough, because there's lots of women who are told they need to smile more every single day, and we're tired of it. So women out there, please be careful what you say, because it's not just you who's listening. It's not just the men who are listening. It's the kids who are listening as well. And when they are listening to you say that there shouldn't be this representation, or that Marvel's going down because there's female representation, they're clocking that different than what you're meaning it. So watch what you say.
That's period. Exactly. It's always those pick me women. Like, they do it because they want to get, like, that male validation. Like, girl, you don't need to do all that, especially on the internet.
And you know, hopefully the studios are listening too. Like, there can be more. Like, just the fact that people are calling out that more and more females are going. I won't be. I'm like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I'm not going to be satisfied until we get an A-Force movie and all the Avengers are female. I don't give a fuck. I want an all-female movie. Period.
Same.
Like,
okay, so speaking of an all-female movie, so in Endgame, there was that little piece, that little teaser that we got, like in the battlefield, when it was like Gamora and Wasp and Mantis and Captain Marvel, and there was all of these females. And I remember, like, at that time being like, oh, that's so cool. Look how many females are finally in here. This was after 11 years. Like, let's keep this in mind, that after 11 years of building this universe, we finally got, like, 6 girls in a room together. After
on a battlefield, on a battlefield full of men.
Right. And people were upset about it. And I remember being like, oh, but that was so cool. Like, look how many females were in there. I'd like to hear what you guys thought, like, both at that time and now, because I feel like that moment holds a little bit different significance, at least for me now, than it did then. What do you guys think?
I think that's a great call out, that it does feel a little bit different now. During my very first viewing, I was not able to enjoy that scene at all because Nat was not there. And I was so mad. Because she was the one that kicked it all off. And for her to not be there, it was like a slap in the face of her fans. Sorry, not sorry. But it is a good start. It felt at the time, and it still does feel like a little bit pandering, like, okay, ladies, like here's your one scene, here you go. But it's a good start. I have to give them credit a little
It's a
bit.
good start. Yeah.
It's a good start.
That's exactly how I feel. Like it feels like a little bit pandering, but then in hindsight,
give us
you're
more.
like, oh, like you,
like, just
I
you
see what you were doing.
like,
yeah.
Yeah, like this is where it's going type deal.
Yeah, at first when I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I get like the complaints about people saying it's forced. The tracking shots are forced. You know, what are the odds in Avengers: Age of Ultron that they're all in a perfect line,
Right.
like their weapon at the same time? Like, okay, everything is forced. It's a production, like, so I didn't really feel like it was bad, but I definitely felt like it was like a wow, we've arrived. Like we're finally taking a more prominent roles in the MCU. We're not just the love interest. We're not the someone has to save. It's like, okay, we're stepping into our power. And that's what I like. And like you said, now I feel like it means so much more to me. Like every time I see it, I get chills because I'm like, wow, we have so many more characters. And this was just the start of it.
That one and the scene from Infinity War.
I was gonna say,
I like that one more.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Me too.
Just because it's so.
It was so like low key. That
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
I will say I did like how in Endgame, how the two women that spoke were the same from Infinity War, who were involved in that scene in Infinity War. I did like that. And just kind of the lead up to it, where Captain Marvel comes in to take down the ship, and then get the gauntlet from Peter. And he's like, how are you going to get through all that? And then here they all come. They're like, this is how, Peter, this is how. And he's like, do it. Go for it. You got this.
And I love the scene with Okoye too, when she's like, "What has she been doing up there this whole time?"
Yes.
In the metaphor, like, yeah, where's been the ladies? Where have they been?
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of them have these like amazing power sets. We just haven't seen them kind of like take the main stage and be the heroes like their male counterparts.
And that, so just real quick, I wanna hear from y'all. Do y'all think that we will finally at D23 get some sort of like Dora Milaje announcement? Do you think it'll be one of those untitled projects?
I hope so.
I hope
Jinx.
so. Oh my gosh, like I would cry if that happens, and I feel like it's just a matter of time. But I hope so. It's that or a Valkyrie series too. I'm like, we can get both.
Give us both. Yeah, both.
Definitely for sure.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. And I also would love to shout out the intersectionality that's happening in Marvel, because we're not just getting females, like the white, skinny, big boobs female. Like we're also getting females of color. We're getting females in the LGBTQ community. We're getting like a whole group of female, and hopefully soon, whatever, we'll get female of a different size.
Hopefully.
Right.
We got Fat Thor, so if we can,
baby steps.
broke the ice, I guess.
Yeah.
Then they gave him back his banging bod and showed us his butt. So I don't know.
That's a really good point, Kara, because I think a lot of people forget that just because it's a female character, a guy can feel represented. I know there was a guest on Earth's Mightiest Weirdos a few weeks ago talking about Miss Marvel, and it was like, wow, like you could tell the appreciation, the feeling of feeling represented, and he was a guy. Like you don't have to always. It doesn't have to be gender-based for you to represent it. That's why we like for me, I felt represented seeing T'Challa, seeing M'Baku, things like that. Like people think with female characters is being forced, but a lot of the times those female characters are just providing a whole other layer of representation and visibility for other people. So I just hate when people just like assume that gender just assumes representation. I think that's a really big part of it, but seeing how many people celebrated Miss Marvel for like saying like a positive light on the Muslim community, like people from Pakistan, like there's so many different layers to it for sure.
And Lauren Ridloff too for the deaf community.
Right.
Yeah, great call.
Huge.
Yeah, so it's nice to see, like, so when you are like shitting on, you know, the future is female, the MCU, yo, we are taking the MCU and we are celebrating it because look at all it's accomplishing in so many different arenas. Like the intersectionality is something that was never achieved before and was only achieved through women. So you're welcome.
Period. And yeah, like at like the end of the day, if you have an issue with more people being represented, that's a you issue, not an not an MCU issue.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and I feel like I was, you know, seeing like Reddit threads and different comments on, you know, Twitter and stuff. It feels like it's like a very specific type of man who is being upset about that. So after like I hate when people kind of make some things like other people's problem when it's a you problem. So we're gonna be riding with the MCU. We're excited. And we're gonna talk about it like it's a positive thing because it is.
It is. Yes.
It is positive.
Yep.
We're gonna make shirts.
Yes.
We're gonna get all the apparel.
Right.
Get some pride colors on that MCU shirt.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we're to the Marvels. Oh my gosh, sure, it's near future for sure. Well, we'll just, you know, table the hater talk for that, and we'll move into the things that we're very excited for. As most people who are watching this probably know, San Diego Comic-Con introduced a lot of projects, some that we already knew about, some are very new to us. So I would love if we could just like talk about some of the female characters, female-led projects that we are seeing come out of those announcements and kind of just briefly talk about them.
Yeah. I mean, we got She-Hulk coming up in 2 weeks.
I know you're so excited as heck, Sarah.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. Jennifer Walters has been one of my favorites for a very, very long time. She was one of the first comics I read once I started getting into comics. It was the John Byrne run in the 80s going into the 90s. And she's just so funny. She's funny and she's sexy, but she's capable and she's her own person. And her, when she was part of the Fantastic Four back in I think it was the 70s, Stan Lee did a lot of hilarious covers with her on the comics themselves. So a lot of those comic covers are just iconic and they're worth a lot. But anyway, she's been one of my favorites. She's my background right now on my computer. So I'm so excited. The 17th, right? August 17th?
Yes.
Thursday now.
The 18th now.
Thursday.
It's a Thursdays.
That's going to be fun, especially since I don't think we have a Marvel film that's going to conflict with that.
Yeah.
Because, Wakanda Forever is November. So that's going to be really great. I can't wait to.
I'm so excited. Tatiana Maslany is amazing.
I think, Jalen, didn't you watch Scandal?
Yes.
So
I love
like a women-led lawyer, like bad bitch energy. I love that. So that's why I'm really excited for She-Hulk, just to see more of that, like taking different cases, you know, showing the ins and out of like the lawyer career field. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I love a comedy TV show. That's my favorite thing in the world. So I'm excited for that one too. Yeah. I also love, and I know we're talking about females, but I love like Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. So I'm excited that he's in it too, because I think that will be a lot of fun. But we all love Tatiana Maslany, I know, from various things. And she's so cute. So I'm excited to see like what that's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited. This was my most anticipated show for this year.
Oh, really?
Good one.
Yes, I was so excited for it. I hope that Hulk and Daredevil don't overshadow her.
Yeah.
Like the excitement of those two characters, I hope that they don't overshadow She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters, and that the conversation stays on her and just, oh yeah, and the Hulk was there. Oh yeah, Daredevil was there.
I feel like she's the type of person that will get people, though. Like, I can't see her not coming in and being like, "A bam, it's me."
It's my world and you're living in it, basically.
Yes.
That's how I want her to be.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping for. That's one of the scenes we got in one of the trailers where she breaks the fourth wall for it seems like the first time, maybe, where she's confused and then Hulk is like, what is she doing? Like, I'm just excited for the breaking the fourth wall that's going to happen. A lot.
Sure.
I like that she's going to be the one to do it in the MCU before Deadpool.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
Well, would Wanda be considered breaking the fourth, or is that different since it's like?
Oh, that's a
good question.
Like
So
WandaVision? But she's like
one
talking to the
episode.
camera. I don't know. I feel like there's probably
that's
difference
interesting.
with,
No,
like,
that's
the
a good
sitcom.
call out.
on like the Modern Family episode.
Yeah. I don't know, but
yeah, good point.
Lots
Still
of
a woman.
excitement.
Little girl.
Thursdays too. It'll be right before we record. We probably watched it before we record, so that'll be fun. Next is Wakanda Forever, correct? Or is it? Oh yeah, because I am Greek. It's Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda.
Right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, I Am Groot technically is before She-Hulk.
Is I Am Groot
Oh,
coming out
is
this
it?
year?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
trying to
on the
look for the
10th or
timeline.
something, I thought.
Oh yeah, because it's like only a handful of episodes, right?
Yeah, and they're like shorts. I think they're only like a couple minutes long.
So we can skip over that.
Yeah, that they don't count.
I'm so excited. So many bomb female characters that came out of the first film. And like, I think I made a tweet about this. Like, the ensemble was so strong. The fact that multiple people can take on the mantle of Black Panther, and a lot of bomb female characters can take on. So it's just a matter of time till we figure out who that is. But I just, we see Nakia, we see a larger presence from Ramonda, it seems like, from the trailer. Okoye, of course. Shuri. It's gonna. Oh, and then Michaela Cole is finally, and then Io.
Yep.
There's so many. I hope we get
So excited.
multiple women Black Panthers
Oh,
in this. Like, it's not just one, but
Like they share it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I never thought about the possibility of having more
That's
than
what I
one
hope.
Black Panther.
Ooh,
That's
what?
sick.
Goosebumps.
Yo.
What made me think of it is that end shot of the trailer where you see Black Panther, and everyone thinks that Shuri's going to take up the mantle, which I'm all for. But
That's
in that
not Shuri's
shot, that's not
body.
Shuri's body. So
It's
they
a
have to
tiny
do
wrist,
like.
though.
And it's
That's
the
like-
gold one. It's the gold one, which was Killmonger's suit, right? But T'Challa's suit was purple, right? Or just all black, or black and silver. So there could be two, because
There
they
could
could
be
have
two.
taken Killmonger's suit.
Yeah. Because Letitia Wright, she's very thin and has a very small waist. In this photo, they were more filled out. So that's what's making me think that there could be multiple women.
So they have lied to us before.
Yeah.
That would
So
be
that's
amazing.
my receipt. If it, I'll cash in if it happens.
It's on the internet now.
I would love it.
That would be amazing.
Just
that
because
would
there's so many powerful women in this that any of them can do it and be bomb at it.
And all of them loved him, and they would do it for him. You know, like, oh my God, Jalen, you just made me cry.
Even if it was like one male, one female, like I would be cool with that. But two females would be wild.
Oh yeah, that would be insane. And that literally tees up like a female Wakanda series so great, because it's like, oh, you have multiple like Black Panthers, they're training together, they're learning. Oh, that's so
it's like the red room. The Black Widows, but
like good
Black Panthers. Yeah, because there's no more Black Widows, right? Well, other than like Black Widow
like
herself, like Yelena.
now.
Yeah.
That would be epic.
And then, but then it could be Shuri and Nakia, because then Okoye would be off to do our Dora Milaje series that Kevin Feige is definitely going to give us. Please, Kevin, thank you.
Yes.
Please,
Unless it's the Dora Milaje that are sharing it.
Ooh.
Oh.
Like the Dora Milaje.
Anika and Io and Okoye.
That'd be awesome. Because you know that they're smart enough that they could come up with something that gives you the power besides
Like just do
the,
this and it gets to the next person.
Oh,
yeah, something.
It reminds me that the Justice League, the only scene I love the Amazon scene with like when they were trying to protect, like when they kind of go to like Wonder Woman's where she like lives, like the planet she's from, and they're like protecting and fighting together. I love that scene, and I just imagine if we can get like a Dora Milaje, Black Panther-esque type of that, phenomenal. Oh man,
Yeah.
So I hype you all up, and I really hope it happens.
I hope so too.
So I think next is the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. I don't know if see more Gamora, more Nebula, Mantis, I'm sure. Any thoughts there? I don't think they made any announcements.
As long as there's Christmas music.
Yeah, I was just gonna say if it's Christmas, I'm hyped.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't get many announcements, so we don't know much about that project.
Yeah, I think they're calling it like an epilogue of Phase 4 because Black Panther closes it out. So I think it's so who knows what it's about, what will happen.
What is the release date on that? Do we know?
No, but
just
probably
December
2022.
Yeah. Okay.
Next is What If Season 2. And I know you're very excited, Sarah, because you love the representation from Nat in that series specifically, right?
Yep.
And I love What If too. I know Sarah's not cares.
I hate What If.
Sarah hates it.
I hate What If. It's the only like Marvel project that I like legitimately dislike.
Until zombies come.
The zombies movie. Yeah.
I love it because the female friendships on that show, and like just the friendships with the female. So like Clint and Natasha and Peggy, I feel like that is just an example of what having females writing females can do. AC Bradley, who was the head writer on that show, was phenomenal. I think that was the best representation of Black Widow that we've gotten on the screen. And I love Scarlett Johansson, but I loved that characterization so much. And Peggy too was great. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. I want more of that.
For sure. I also love this series, and I think they're just gonna. I forget the scenarios they mentioned at Comic-Con, like because they gave us a teaser of some of them, but I know it's gonna be.
I
really
think
great.
Wasn't there one like Peggy versus the Hydro?
Oh yeah, Hydro Stomper.
Wasn't that Steve?
Yeah. It was. Well, it was. Remember, we don't know who was in the suit at the end.
That's true.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So
it could be. It could not.
I mean, I'm for a Peggy versus Steve showdown because she'd kick his little butt.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
For sure. Especially if he didn't have the serum.
Right, and she does.
Right. No debate whatsoever.
It's like Kim Possible and Batman.
Right?
Okay, so next is Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. So we've seen the Wasp, we know her, but then we get Ant-Man's daughter, and Cassie, and I forget what her superhero name is.
Stature. They haven't given her one yet. But they haven't given her one yet, right? So she could be Stature, or she could be. What was the other one? Stinger. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, according to the comic nerds, which Sarah, you might know, her suit looks more like Stature than Stinger.
The colors are a little bit different. She's got purple instead of red, but yes, it does look a lot more like that.
It's definitely giving Kate Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like
when
I saw that, I'm like, oh, okay. But we know Michelle Pfeiffer is going to be in it as well. Any thoughts in terms of anticipation? I know I feel like there's going to be a lot happening with Kang. We saw from Loki, but I'm just so excited to see more of the Wasp and older Cassie, and they recasted her. So
yeah.
Well, like knowing like the end is Avengers Kang Dynasty, and that we're starting off Phase 5 with Ant-Man with Kang in it. I think that hypes me up a little bit more.
Yeah.
And we love Jonathan Majors, so.
Oh my gosh. It's weird to know, like, they're not going to defeat Kang. Like, it's like they're telling us like, no, Kang's gonna be around for a while.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I like
Or,
that.
yeah. Or it'll be like they defeat this version of Kang, just like in
Mhm.
Loki, how they defeated that
True.
Mhm.
version.
Mhm.
I
Right.
don't know. I think this one, I'm excited for it. I mean, Paul Rudd, he's
Yeah.
hilarious. And
Yeah.
so he's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see him and Jonathan Majors like
Yeah, it's
go
gonna be
Yeah.
weird.
back and forth
funny.
because
Yeah.
he's so
Yeah.
silly and Kang is like serious
Super
and
serious.
stuff. And then just seeing like Wasp be like, dudes, what are you doing? And then just like ends it all. Just
Right.
she's like, we're done here, and just chops his head off or something. I don't know. But it just comes in and saves the day.
I really wish we would see Scott with wings because I'm like, that just makes
Yeah.
sense. Like, why does he need to be on an ant? Literally, that scene from Ant-Man and the Wasp when the ant kept getting eaten by the seagull. I'm like, come on, like, give him wings. So give him a Shuri upgrade.
Yes.
The only entertaining part of that is just the names he gives the ants. Like
Oh, yeah.
Antonio, and then I don't know. I was
Right.
always focused on ant, so that was the only creative thing. But yeah,
That's
give him
true.
wings.
Yeah, I guess you gotta still give that ant aspect. So next we have Secret Invasion, and we don't have a ton of details, but we know Ben Mendelsohn's coming back as Talos, Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury, Kobe Smulders as Maria Hill, and then we know Emilia Clarke, Olivia
Colman.
I don't know if that was confirmed. Yeah, was it confirmed? Olivia
Yeah, I
Colman?
thought so.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
Gotcha.
Pretty sure.
No, I'm pretty sure they showed footage of Secret Invasion at Comic-Con.
Was she in it?
And she was in it.
Oh, really?
From what I
Okay,
understand.
awesome.
Yeah.
God, she's one of my
That's gonna
favorites.
be. At first, I didn't think that. I'm like, oh, I know nothing, so I don't.
Mhm.
But I'm really curious to know what Nick Fury's been up to, and I'm really
Yeah.
excited for them to give Maria Hill more to do. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
She is a great character. I don't know why she has not been more fleshed out. Kevin Feige, hire more women writers. Because in the comics, there's so much to mine from in the comics. She's a fantastic badass in the she's Commander, she's Director Hill. So
Mm-hmm.
I hope that she gets her due in Secret Invasion.
For sure, because I think I feel like there's kind of a big disparity between female characters that have like a power or like, the very obvious hero, and then the ones that were like, more support characters. But at the end of the day, I feel like they build up Nick Fury to be a very, power, kind of like a power broker within the MCU. He holds a lot of power.
Yeah.
He's very respected. And I'm like, Maria Hill is like that. Like, why don't we try to kind of give those same types of characterizations to her? Mm-hmm. So I agree. I feel like it's time for her to get her good story in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I hope they give her more. I love Sam Jackson, but he is getting up there in age and, can't do as much. So I hope they, do give more.
How dare you? He will be young forever.
I mean, he will be, but, there's only so much people can do. So give more to Maria. She can do a lot too.
Right. They talk about all the like mentor-mentee relationships that popped up within Phase 4. Like that relationship has been there from the beginning. Like, give her more responsibility. Let her do more.
And he would. Like Nick Fury would.
Right.
He'd be like, you got this, Maria. Go for it.
Well, he already low-key did that once when he faked his death and she took over for a bit.
That's true. So
are we at Echo yet?
Not yet. It's one more before Echo. We're at Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, where I'm so excited for.
What are you excited for? Tell us.
Honestly, I just, when they said the High Evolutionary, and I feel like I kind of went into a YouTube black hole to watch more videos around him, and I think that villain is very interesting. But I'm really curious to know where they pick up with Gamora, because at first I think everyone was scared they were going to do like a 51st Dates type of storyline. But I forget what they announced at Comic-Con with Gamora.
No, they said everyone was crying during the trailer.
Well, they said this was the end of the story.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, so that assume that means that it's the end of the story for all of them, but
sorry.
I don't know.
End of the trilogy.
Of the Guardians
I
that
understood
we
it.
know.
The Guardians that we know.
Oh,
So, but like
okay.
that team up, it could be like kind of how like the Avengers kind of ended with Endgame because characters kind of dispersed. Like Thor's still alive, but I feel like there's going to be people that are probably still alive, but maybe some characters do pass. I don't think all of them die. I hope not, but I do feel like they're kind of going to scatter, and we're not going to see the same type of Guardians film.
I mean, they're gonna rip my heart out when they show Baby Rocket.
Oh yeah,
like I'm already can't handle it. So, and if you're showing Baby Rocket in the trailer, you know it's not gonna end well for him, and I'm very upset about it.
Just knowing like the torch, I remember that shot. I forget if it was the first or the first Guardians film. They show his like back, and it was clearly like he's like a cybernetic raccoon, and they were doing experiments on him. So they go into that. It's going to be a really emotional story.
Yeah, true.
So.
Well, even Peter's face when he sees Rocket's back and stuff. So it'll be interesting. I'm not ready.
I'm not either. I'm really excited to see what they do with Adam Warlock, though. Because he can. I've said this before, but there is a way that they could bring back Gamora as we knew her before she passed away in Infinity War.
Oh.
With his character. So, because if their soul went to the soul world through the Soul Stone, Adam Warlock can access the soul world.
Oh.
He can travel there. So, if they find her there, they might also find other people there. But I don't know. But it's interesting that they're bringing him in, right? So I don't know.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
All I know of him is he was that annoying kid from Narnia. So and now he looks kind of cute. Like he's like so much cuter than
Narnia.
Yeah, the third one or the second one, something like that. Yeah.
His voice is very nasal.
I know him from the Millers.
Oh yeah, or the Millers.
Yeah.
So I'm like excited to see him in this big role.
Yeah, isn't him and Florence Pugh dating, or they've been seen together? Or...
How they?
Wait, hang on. Is Florence Pugh not dating Zach Braff for like ages?
I thought she was.
Okay, I thought
she's been dating Zach Braff for a long time.
I've seen some spicy pictures between both of them at the beach, the pool. So I don't want to give false information. I would do my due diligence and bring it back to the next episode. But I thought that I saw pictures of them together. So
interesting.
They broke up? Okay, we're gonna get back to this because we are
breaking
not
news.
Gossip. We're not a gossip podcast. However, we may need a minute, so we will.
We'll come back.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
Just give us a
So the next project I know everyone's excited about is Echo. Also known
Echo,
as
you said? You said Echo?
Yes.
My favorite. I'm so excited for Echo. I am so excited for Echo. Oh,
talk about representation.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Alakwa Cox is everything. She's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. It's so cool to have Indigenous representation in the MCU. And like I've talked about this before on an Earth's Mightiest Weirdos podcast, but to have her come in and like she's bringing her family members, like little baby Echo is her niece or her cousin or something like that. So like she's bringing her family members, she's bringing in like the core like pieces of the Indigenous culture right into the MCU, and we desperately need that.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a Canadian, I have to say, like we need that and we love that. So I'm so excited.
Is she Canadian Indigenous?
She's not.
Oh, okay.
I get my little Maya Lopez Funko Pop up there, but I'm really excited to see her too. I'm not a fan of Vincent D'Onofrio's as Kingpin, as you all know, but I'm excited to see more of her and like diving into more of her story. So like you said, representation. Also, she's just badass, and I'm just like, she just brings such a fresh perspective to the MCU. So I'm just excited to keep following where she goes.
And talking about intersectionality, like she's female, she's indigenous, and she has one leg. Like she's doing it literally.
Oh
yeah, and she's deaf.
Yeah.
She's doing it all. She does so much.
And the fact that they casted her when, I guess, isn't like Echo Maya Lopez, she's not an amputee in the comics, correct?
Correct.
So it's
she is like her physical prowess though in the comics is like Olympian level. So it's even cooler that she's an amputee.
And like the fact that they found that she is the best person for the job, and she is like adds this extra level. I'm like, oh my god, Marvel, like my cup runneth over.
100 out of 10. 100 out of 10. Well done.
Yes. And if we get Kate Bishop, like even if she just appears for like a second, just because, just even if it's at the beginning or something. Just to tie in from when we last saw them in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Because all we know who's in it is Echo, Daredevil, and Kingpin. Like, is it just going to be her and Daredevil versus Kingpin the whole time? Like, we need another female on her side.
Yeah. And I think I mentioned this on like an Earth's Mightiest Widows Hawkeye episode. My dad is hard of hearing. So like, just seeing like how they had her and Clint like interacting, kind of like share moments. I'm like, it's so beautiful. So I'm like, cannot wait.
I'm excited.
So
can we look at breaking photos?
Did you find them?
I did.
I love that swimsuit.
Yes, they look good together.
See, doesn't he look so much less annoying now?
Well, yeah.
I told you.
Dang.
Dating. She officially broke up with Zach Braff, correct?
Did she really?
I don't know. That's
she has to, because
5
I'm like,
times
you
her
won't be
age.
seen all up on another guy like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's.
I feel like she's probably single if she's, I
think
homeboy
so.
has his face in her tits like that.
Oh wait, hang on. In May 2022, Florence Pugh shuts down rumors that she's dating Will Poulter. Isn't that this guy?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
After they were seen enjoying some time on the beach.
Did they see these pictures?
I will say though, sometimes
he's motorboating her.
Yeah, but sometimes from what I've seen of paparazzi photos, they can make it look much different than it was. So I will give them that.
Yeah.
And I will wait and see.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, don't shoot the messenger. I've seen pics, but I don't know if what the story was behind it. But they definitely look like more than friends. But who knows?
So is she still with whatchamacallit though?
I don't know. That's what I'm not sure.
Zach Braff. Dax Shepard.
Little Dax Shepard. Little brunette Dax Shepard.
The variant of Dax Shepard.
The variant, yeah.
We'll see. More to come on that. So the next series is Loki Season 2.
Yes.
Which I am so excited for.
Me too.
I love this. Like, I hated Loki, but I saw that series and I loved it.
True. Maya hated Loki before the Loki series.
Literally hated his guts. I'm like, why is he in the MCU? Like, I dragged him. I'm going record dragging him multiple times. But this story was awesome. Can't wait to see more of Sylvie. I guess Tom Hiddleston mentioned that Gugu and Bathura is also going to be in it. We're going to get Mobius, and then Ravonna Renslayer. Well, of course, and that's who Gugu plays. So, I don't think we have like a ton on what's going to be new, but even if it's like just the same quality as the first season, I feel like it's going to be good. That's there. Okay. Next is the Marvel.
Loki's clearly at the middle of the pack for us. We're like,
Okay.
Next.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Right. Box checked. The Marvels.
Yes,
Hell yeah.
let's
So
go.
excited.
Nia DaCosta.
Oh my gosh, Monica
excited.
Rambeau, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel. Oh my gosh,
Especially with that teaser.
yes.
Yeah.
The hype train for me was so high because of Monica Rambeau. I love Monica Rambeau so much. Tiana Paris is like,
I
she's
miss her.
gotta be like top, I don't know, 10, 20 beautiful people in the world. Like, she's so beautiful.
Gorgeous.
And so funny. Like, she's got such a good like vibe that she puts off on camera. I loved her in WandaVision. I can't wait to see her again. Kamala Khan, my Canadian princess. She's so funny. Also so beautiful. She's so charismatic on the screen. To have the two of them together, I am elated. Like, I was so excited. I know Jalen has something to say about Brie Larson, so I'll let her say that.
Yeah, this has been my number one movie for a very long time. Like, I've been excited for this since they announced it. What, in 2019? I don't even remember when they announced it, but I've been excited for it. Captain Marvel is one of my favorite movies. It's in my top 10 of Marvel movies. I love it so much. And I'm just excited to get more girl power in this. And it's not just Brie and Sarah.
I'm
Sarah,
sorry.
what is
I'm sorry.
happening?
Her mom is gonna be in it. I'm looking at the
Who's
cast.
mom?
Ms. Marvel's mom is gonna be in the Marvel.
Yes.
Well, I hope it opens up like how it ends
Yes.
with Brie in her room, and then she goes down and interacts with her family.
She's great.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
my
excited
God,
for
I
that
can't
interaction.
Wait, because I feel like it's gonna be kind of like No Way Home, where it's like you got high schooler Tom Holland, you got like Kamala Khan, high schooler, and then you have two like adults, and they're like combining to like work together. It's gonna be so good. They're different humor, they're different personalities. It is going to just be amazing. I just know it's going to be amazing. I cannot wait.
And Kamala's like living out everyone's dream. So like she's going to be meeting her hero. Like at least I assume they're going to be in the same scenes together in this movie.
Yes.
So she's actually going to get to meet Captain Marvel, and I'm just excited to see what story they tell.
Yes.
With it.
And Zoe Ashton too. Tom Hiddleston's fiance.
Oh yes.
She's going to be in it?
Yes.
She's the villain.
Oh, she's the villain?
Yes.
Hey, also, I would like to shout out, since we're talking about the MCU, the fact that we're getting female villains.
Yes.
Like, come on.
Yes.
We got Agatha. We got a female villain coming out here. Like, come on.
Yes.
I love it.
Man,
I love it.
okay.
You know the girls can play a badass villain, okay?
Yeah.
You know that if you come at us, we're gonna come at you. Okay?
Yes.
Simple as that. Oh my gosh, the next project. So when number 2 on my most anticipated list, Ironheart.
Oh yes.
Wait, I'll give my little Ironheart spill. So I'm really excited. Like, one of my friends got me an Ironheart comic, and it was the comic series where her and Shuri are like collaborating and working together, and probably multiple. But Dominique Thorne is actually my sorority sister. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a Delta in the MCU. I'm like, oh my gosh. And she went to Cornell the same time as like one of my really good friends who speaks so highly about her. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see her.
That's amazing.
So, yeah.
Humble
And we're
brag.
going to see her in Wakanda Forever. And she was in the trailer, dapping up Shuri. It's going to be great.
Iron Man, like, as you guys know, Iron Man's my favorite Marvel character, so I am very excited for this.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it. I don't read comics, so I don't know a lot of like background story. But to see a Black female come in and like to replace Tony Stark, who's one of the most iconic like superheroes of all time. I think I'm so excited about that.
Mhm.
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
And I love the like. I mean, I don't know if we'll probably won't get it in the series, but like her interacting with Peter Parker, like both of like Tony's. Well, I don't know if she'll be a mentee because he's not alive, but like seeing them interact, will be so great.
Yeah. And seeing maybe Pepper too, you know, if it plays into Armor Wars at all.
Yeah.
Seeing her interact with Rhodey and Pepper and Happy. Oh.
She's like a US based Shuri, I feel like genius, smart, can build.
Yeah.
And you
MIT.
know how Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we see them go all the way to Wakanda to build a suit. I feel like we're gonna see Riri Williams be building the Avengers suits, like the young Avengers. Like she's gonna be the kind of like homegrown Shuri, basically.
Which is amazing, because as we're talking about representation and what it means for like the next generation coming up, to see that it's cool for women to be smart and to like use your intelligence for cool things. Like you don't just have to use your intelligence to be a nurse or you know, like a working professional. Like you can use your intelligence to do really cool things, like build superhero costumes or like move forward in advanced technology in all these cool ways, rather than just be all about your looks, which obviously all these people are still very good looking. So you can say what you want about that. But like it's not just about your looks. It's not just about like your body or what you're wearing. And it's not just about using your brains for what you typically think is a career path. We saw it with Shuri. We're going to see it with is Dominique her real name or is that the comic name?
No, that's her real name.
Her real name. Okay. In the Ironheart, like in her character, you know, we're seeing it in some of these other characters. So that's so cool. Like not just for us because we're old. Like we already like I don't know, we lost out on life because we didn't have this representation. But the next my niece coming up is always gonna know that it's cool for women to be intelligent. And that's pretty cool.
Oh my god, it's gonna be amazing. Well, the next project, we don't actually have a ton of female representation, but I'm very excited for it. Blade, November 3rd, 2023. Were y'all?
You got Mahershala Ali.
Did y'all
like a vampire thing? No. Yeah.
I never saw the original movies.
I really liked the original. Like I liked him a lot.
Wesley Snipes.
So it's like crazy. They just feel like, all we know is Mahershala's a type 2, and everyone's like, yes, give me more.
But we've known this for so long. Like we've known the same information for like 3 years. The hype level has stayed the same. Like that's crazy.
Yes. It's like no other. I think we have a director now. I believe, right?
Yes, we do.
I'm blanking on the name, but. I mean, we hear his voice in the end of Eternals, so that's exciting. But we don't really have much on him, but we will see. And then next project, I know y'all are really excited. Agatha, Coven of Chaos, name change, no longer House of Harkness, whatever it was called before. But
yes,
y'all are really excited for that one.
Yeah,
Catherine Hahn all day, every day.
Catherine Hahn I don't know what they're going to do with Scarlet Witch in between now and then, but I hope that they get her character back on track. I
have some feelings about Wanda. I'm not like I don't know what they're doing there, but
I don't either.
I feel like she was already the villain. Like in Age of Ultron, she started off the villain, so I don't think that we necessarily needed to make her a villain again.
And kind of the villain in WandaVision.
Yeah.
And then
in Doctor Strange. Yeah.
What are y'all doing with female writers? I'm telling you. Michael Waldron, I loved what you did on Loki, but not Scarlet Witch.
We do know there's going to be a Scarlet Witch movie. Just don't know when.
What?
They're doing a Scarlet Witch movie.
Scoop Daddy. Here we go.
We don't know when. I mean, I'm guessing it'll be a Phase 6 announcement. They'll announce that too, but unless it was made up, but swear that there's going to be a movie for her.
That's good. 'cause
So-
I'm like,
There
we need
should
more-
be.
Yeah.
We don't want to
better
do
Wonder
another like
representation.
Black Widow nonsense where she's in like 11 movies before she's in her own, and then by then it's too late, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm guessing she'll show up in Agatha, and then
Yeah.
that
That
will
would
be-
Elizabeth Olsen is a treasure, so I feel like they
Right?
should jump on that. And if
Yeah.
they could like write her character a little bit, like write
Consistently.
RIGHT
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
character, to make it, yeah, like you want to cheer for her, like you want to be
Yeah.
on her side. So
She's so tragic.
yeah. Although I guess like saying that, like it's tragic, a lot of people could probably relate to that, where you experience she's gone through a lot of shit,
Yeah. That's,
like a
yeah.
lot of shit, and
Everyone
so
she loves has died.
yeah,
Mhm.
and been like violently taken from her, and like and
Mhm.
sometimes
Yes.
multiple times. So yeah, like I guess like on the other hand, like who wouldn't turn, I guess.
Yeah.
But I hope that we can like if we can show her some love, like to meet her where she's at and to kind of like bring her back to like
Yeah.
who she truly is. I think that would be a nice next step.
Yeah, like where was Clint during all this? Because
Yeah,
they have a
for
pretty
his, like,
good
yeah.
connection in Endgame and Ultron and
dad
stuff.
chat.
Yes.
And so, like, Clint, where were you to like
Yeah.
help Wanda? She
That's a
clearly
good
was
point.
grieving and needed a friend on her side.
He's
Yeah.
too busy
Mhm.
drinking margaritas with Kate Bishop.
Right.
Yes.
Facts. So yeah, I'm also very excited to see more of Wanda and Agatha. I like Agatha, but I'm not like the one who was like, oh, Agatha was great. I love the Agatha All Along song, banger,
Mhm.
but you know, I'm just like, okay, she's a good villain.
Yeah.
Um,
If we get another theme song from her,
oh,
then I'm
So
all
much
for it.
pressure. So
Yes.
much pressure.
How
Imagine
do you
trying to
top
come up
that?
with a song after Agatha All Along. Impossible.
right. That
I
was a whole
love-
cultural moment.
Seriously. And especially like in the height of the pandemic too, like nobody was
Yeah.
doing anything. Like we needed that, like just the significance of how that brought us up as like a population that was all just basically lying in our bed with no makeup on, no hair, that haven't showered for 8 weeks. Like we needed that to bring us together. I love
For sure.
Catherine Hahn, so I'm excited for that. I like WandaVision, Agatha, like it's just above middle for me, like just in
Mhm.
terms of
Mhm.
anticipation and things that I'm excited for. Sorry, producer Brian.
That is funny. Yeah, like I guess the next one is X-Men 97. I know we kind of can suspect the kind of like the OG X-Men, but I personally have not. I only watched the first episode because I think they have them on Disney Plus now, the old X-Men series. But I don't
Yeah.
know much outside of that, so.
The most X-Men I've seen is Doctor Strange.
Same. Wait,
I
did we
love
get
the
an
live
announcement for
action.
that, or is that an animated one?
It's animated.
Oh,
Yeah,
animated.
it's
Gotcha,
animated.
gotcha.
So they're like it's continuing that same, I guess, story from that series. And they said this one, Magneto is going to be in charge of the X-Men, so that's going to be pretty
Interesting.
new. I don't know. I didn't watch the whole series, so I don't know if that's a surprise or not. But
Okay. Yeah.
I love that live action X-Men, the Fox version. So let's see. Next is Captain America: New World Order.
Bro,
So excited.
that
so
logo.
excited. Yes, it's so cool.
Yes, I cannot wait.
Talk about another movie that's making people mad,
Yeah, seriously.
which gets me even more excited.
I know.
Yes.
Oh
I can-
man, the straight
can-
white male, man, they're just so hard done by these days.
They're hard to please at this point. The world does not no longer
Right.
revolve around them, and you're very upset.
So
Um,
Send help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
nothing.
cannot wait.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love Sam Wilson. I think that he is an underrated character in the MCU. I love what he brings to the shield, the Captain America shield, because it's so different than what Steve brought, and it's still good. So to see that there's two like completely different people that still bring something good, that still lead in different ways, it's just so good. I just love it. I love Captain America anyways, so to have more Captain America go on, even though Chris Evans isn't here, is amazing, and I'm happy that it's Sam, and I can't wait. Just like the kids growing up, they're growing up with a black Captain America.
Yeah.
Like, come on, that's so like, how are you not so excited about that?
And I love that Chris Evans is saying Sam Wilson is Captain America, because people keep asking him about it, and he's like, "It's not me. Stop it. It's Sam Wilson." So
nobody said that shit with Batman. Like when it was like, "Oh, like, hey, Ben Affleck, how do you think about Batman?" Like blah blah blah. Like he didn't have to come out and be like, "Robert Pattinson is Batman now."
Right.
Like
that's such a good point. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like what's understood doesn't need to be explained. Like, he's Captain America, point blank, period.
Right.
And I just hate the, people always say it's like, oh, because people are quote unquote woke and we're woke washing the MCU. No, he was the next person in line for the shield, and he's going to be fired, as we saw in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And we probably get more Bucky.
Right? I know. I mean, obviously, I'm a huge Bucky fan, and everyone's all like, Bucky. I know, right? That's brand new information. Everyone's all like, Bucky should be it. Bucky should be it. And yes, I would love Bucky if he was Captain America. But Bucky did a lot of bad things. Granted, he was under mind control and stuff, but I think the world would have a bigger issue of someone who was in the Winter Soldier program to pick up that mantle. And
he's on his own journey. Like if he just quit his character arc to become Captain America, that it undermines everything that he's currently going through.
Right.
His healing, all that. Righting his wrongs, for sure.
Yeah. So
I have a lot to say about people who do not like Sam Wilson as Captain America. And people who think that Bucky should have been Captain America, but if I start going, we will be here for 3 hours, and 70% of America would be offended. So we're just gonna.
Ceasefire, and
we'll bring it back once we get a trailer or something from this movie.
Man, yeah, all of the people who are currently saying that Captain America has no hype, they don't care about it. We'll talk again when the trailer comes out. When the movie comes out, we'll talk again.
Right. Because it's funny, because on to the next project, it seems like the straight white men are just ogling for Daredevil Born Again.
Seriously, yeah!
too, but I'm like, man, everyone is so thirsty for this project, and then they announced like 18 episodes for a Disney Plus series. Wow.
Yeah, you're right. It's
a good series. Like, I really like Daredevil. I thought Vincent D'Onofrio was fine, because I'm like, oh, this is the Netflix Defenderverse. He works, whatever.
Not great.
But I feel like could be a better Kingpin, but that's neither here nor there. But I love Charlie Cox as Daredevil.
Karen Page too.
Karen Page
in Daredevil.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Yeah, I liked her.
She was cool. So I'm excited for this too. And then we'll see him in Echo. So we'll see a lot of Daredevil.
I've never seen it. I've heard it's a little bit like dark.
You will not like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
It's very.
It is dark.
There's some kills, some gruesome kills.
Some kills.
Some eyeball kills.
Eyeball kills, head kills,
So when this one comes out, I'll let you guys watch first. You can let me know how it is.
There you go.
All the other pure of hearts out there that can't deal with intense stuff, just watch Earth's Mightiest Weirdos for the recap every week, and then that's just how we'll move forward, like I did with Moon Knight.
Gotcha. So I know we're a little short on time, so we're gonna just zoom through these last few
Oh yeah.
Thunderbolts.
Oh yes.
We get to see
Yes.
Yelena again.
We
Yeah.
assume
Once-
like we got like no
hopefully.
information, right?
Yeah. Hopefully
We
they announce the
assumed-
cast soon.
Yeah.
Because we assume that Yelena, Zemo, and Bucky will be in this based on comics, which I will immediately buy my tickets right now with no other information.
Yes,
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
Period. So good. I cannot. That's probably my most anticipated. I think that's number one on my list right now.
Mm-hmm.
The next
Do you guys think that we're going to get a Black Widow movie with Yelena? I just have to.
That's a good question. I feel
think
like
we
I
should.
mean, we should.
Yeah, I think
we
we
Yeah.
should.
should.
It'll be 10 years too late if they keep going. Like
Yeah.
monitor. They're gonna like monitor like her and other projects to see, because I feel like at this point it's just gonna be like how audience reaction is. I think.
I feel like
So-
after the macaroni and cheese scene, they should have immediately signed that up.
Yes. Started production.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a talent like Florence Pugh. You got to do something more with her than just
Yes,
TV
Yeah.
shows.
for sure. Absolutely. And then next
Okay, sorry.
is Fantastic Four, and we still have no casting, but hopefully we get that at D23.
D23. Yep.
I can't wait.
Can't wait.
Do you have any picks for Sue Storm? I mean, you probably have picks for other characters, but I just feel like Sue Storm is like.
I hope we get an unknown, because the unknowns that they've been giving
Yeah.
us, like Iman Vellani,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
true.
yeah, I hope we get an unknown.
I hope it's an unknown, but I won't be mad if it ends up being John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. Like, I won't be upset about it if it
Mhm.
is, because like that's who a lot of people are casting as, and we already saw him. But if we
Mhm.
got more, I wouldn't be upset. But I hope it is someone else
Gotcha.
that they discovered.
Yeah.
I've been on the Tika Sumner train for a few years now. I love Tika Sumner, and I think she would be a great Sue Storm. So we'll see. And then we have Spider-Man freshman year that we can kind of like skip over. We have Marvel Zombies. Okay, skipping over that. And then we have Avengers King Dynasty, and then Avengers Secret Wars.
It's gonna be a lot.
Don't-
It's
and
gonna be a
don't
short
know-
6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a great year for us nerds.
Mhm.
Yes,
With
for
8
sure.
projects in between, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, what?
Which is nuts.
God,
Right?
Yeah.
In
that's
that
too
phase?
much.
Fantastic
I mean,
Four.
they've got to be announcing so much at
They have
D23.
to.
But
Yeah,
then they
have
also
to.
have to announce some stuff next year and like the year after that. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it's just like casting news and direct, like tying more details in the projects we already saw. But yeah, I'm excited for the, just 2 Avengers movies same year. At first I was like,
Yes.
that's kind of a lot, because I was, the whole Marvel release date
Fatigue.
kind of critique. Yeah, and
Yeah.
fatigue. I'm like, oh, that's a lot. But
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they built up so many characters that it's enough to have like whole 2 teams of Avengers.
Yes.
So,
Mhm.
yeah.
The Young Avengers.
and I really hope that they told us that Destin Daniel Cretton.
Yes.
I'm so bad with names. He's doing Kang Dynasty, but they haven't told us who's doing Secret Wars. But we know that the Russo brothers have publicly begged to do that movie,
Yeah.
and I cannot see like the Russo brothers being like, "Please, we want to do this movie," doing the movie and then not having them do it.
Mhm.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's just weird to think that it'll be like 6 years since an Avengers movie. I mean, we've had a lot of team ups. There's going to be a lot of team ups, but like
I shouldn't
strict
think about it like
Avengers,
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
it'll be like
Mhm.
6 years. It's just
Mhm.
weird.
That's
True.
crazy. With a fully different team.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So there's
be
other
weird.
projects that they announced that we don't have like specific dates for, so I can kind of leave it at that. But as we saw going through it, the future is definitely female.
Mhm.
MCU,
MCU.
y'all.
MCU, for real. And it's just really excited time to be a Marvel fan and to just kind of indulge in all these projects. So we're going to keep y'all updated on how we enjoy the series. We know She-Hulk is coming up, Wakanda Forever, just a few months away. So we're just really excited, and we are rallying behind the MCU.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
We're coining
Cheers.
it as positive. It is not a negative term.
Yes,
Mhm.
positive. Cheers, ladies.
Hey.
Cheers.
MCU.
Alrighty. From like, I hope everyone has a great rest of your week, and then we'll see y'all next week.
See y'all next week.